African American, bro. That's it.
And we are back again. And today we will be building on Cenat, right? The biggest streamer in the game right now, right? He's 23, he's young, he's out of the Bronx, but he's a first generation American, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, right, you have to understand that when you look at a first generational American, you have to understand that when they are born here, they're still born into a household that is more than likely still heavily influenced by their parents' immigrant background. So understand that first, right? Now the issue with that is that you have these first generational Black Americans who live in households that are ruled over and culturally taught to be whatever home country that they came from, right? I believe that Casanat is Caribbean as far as Haitian and Jamaican, right? But he's a American born kid and a Black American born kid. So he embraced this, he was born and embraces hip hop culture, which has dominated the music charts forever and has dominated America. Whether you like hip hop or not, it's all inside of America. Could you imagine America without the nigga, without the American nigga? No, you cannot. Right? We is the spice to the gumbo. Right? We add that flavor in that. Right? So we add slang and we add all the style and we add a lot. I'm not, we have our flaws. We ain't perfect, but we add the flavor to that. Right? So with that being said, hip hop is a Black American art form. It's a Black American way of life that goes back to the 60s, go back to the 30s, go back to us coming out of slavery long before many immigrants, even Black immigrants, came to this country, right? And the issue with Casanat is that he's put into a position now where he's dominating streaming and he's tied in with labels, and labels send rappers to his stream, to his Twitch streaming platform, so he can sell to kids. He can sell to kids. So although he's only 23 and he's put into this position of knowing we've been able to use this platform to skyrocket artist success, right? You even got Nicki Minaj and you got all these rappers, even the older ones, coming feeling like they need to stop by his platform because it caters to the kids, right? So I'm not expecting him to have the hip hop knowledge that I have, right? I'm older than Casanat, right? I'm older than Casanat. Um, However, Casanat is old enough and has to realize the position that he's in. You should have a little more respect for Black American culture, right? Because at one time he's a young kid, but he literally said out his own mouth that Black Americans did not have a culture. This is something that he more than likely learned in his immigrant household, right? This is something that he reiterated from the immigrant household, his immigrant parents. So even though he's growing up into this Black American society, hip hop culture, it's a costume for him. It's not his. It's not his, so he don't really have love for it. He's just dibbling and dabbling in it, right? It's a phase because if you go back to his early days, he probably wouldn't own that, right? You can find many of us, we was born into it. Our parents listened to the Gap Band, the Commodores, all this, right? All these elements that went into rap music, rap culture, as we seen in the film Sinners, right? The bar, the juke joint, right? That's nothing but the modern day club, right? The singing blues with telling the story, that's hip hop. The gold teeth element, this is all hip hop, Black American culture that been here, right? I'm not saying I'm not banging on Africa right now. However, we got to get this right in the exact. You're not banging on the Caribbeans, but at the same time, we just want our culture to be a little bit more um, appreciated if he's put in since he's put in this position, right? As a person that's put in the position, You have to know that I can dig through a little bit. I can dig through a little bit of research on a little bit stuff that's old that's before me, right? So I was a kid. I dig through this. You think I was born at the same time that uh, death certificate was dropping, Machiavelli was dropping, all that, the Chronic? No, nigga, that shit is before my time. But I had enough love for the art and the culture, and like I say, this is the issue. My parents, Black Americans, they're listening to hip hop. They're listening to Marvin Gaye and all this and that. That's not the immigrant's household for the most part, right? Even if the black immigrant first generation is growing up in it, going to school, learning through the radio, learning it through hip hop, BET, all this stuff, social media nowadays, YouTube, that that's not what his parents is into. That's not what his parents is into. His lifestyle is more like the white American who like maybe like Eminem, right? Where he found a love for hip hop and the hip hop culture, Black American culture, but his mom and dad they don't know what he's on. They think he just going through a phase. Right, this is how black immigrants see their kids when they get into hip hop culture. They see that as just a phase. Most of them, right? They see it as just a phase that he's going through because they know that's not their culture. That's not his culture. Even DJ Academics, he dives so deep into Black American hip hop culture because it's still just like it's a journey for him, right? Because he didn't grow up in that type of environment. His household wasn't like that. His parents wasn't into that. As he said, he went to Rutgers University and grew up totally different, right? So all this stuff is interesting to him, right? These are costumes for a lot of these guys. They watch they was watching the Chirac like it was ESPN. You know what I mean? But for Black Americans in the inner city, we live this every day. Different city, different state, whatever. This is what we've been living, and now it's being mimicked by other countries, right? And mimicked by first generation Americans, right? Who really don't have a lot of respect or love for hip hop culture. It's just a phase that many of them are going through. If you love something, you want to get to know it. You want to know everything about it. You can't say you love a woman and then you don't know everything about it, about that individual that you saying you love. You love a man, but you don't know shit about me. See, when you love something, you want to study it, right? When I love the knowledge, I want to study the knowledge. I want to learn everything from the comedic side to the Masonic side to everything. I want to study it all. Islam, Christianity. I wanted the knowledge. I wanted it all, right? And I went out for that journey to search it. A lot of these kids say they love hip hop, but they can't dig in the crates from 5 years before them, 8 years before them, 10 years before them, 12 years before them. This is because they don't love it, right? And that's where I take an issue at because some of us love this shit, and we don't. Your popularity is no excuse for you sitting up there with your millions of followers and viewers saying Black Americans have no culture. When the reality is, you are in Black American culture, cosplaying a Black American, walking around dressed like us, talking in slang like us, but your mama don't talk like that, your daddy don't talk like that. They go back to their homeland and talk like they do in their homeland, right? You found the love for this culture that's not your culture, and the least you can do is have respect for it and love it enough to respect the people inside of it and the artists, right? I understand that Wale is also first generation. His parents are African, right? So Wale fit the bill too. However, Wale has loved black rap culture, black hip hop culture, and black American hip hop culture, and have never publicly that I know of uh, demeaned it. Right? He respects the past. That's all we asking for, right? Eminem is a guest in our culture, but He just respects the past. He respects the culture. He'll sit down with Farrakhan, DJ Vlad, peel, take from the community, and then has issues with Farrakhan, has issues with things that offend him as he sits there and makes money off Black American hip hop street culture, right? And then turn around and play the victim of why everybody calling me a culture vulture, because you don't have respect for the art form in the culture that you have gotten rich off of. And that's all we ask for. So that's all I'm asking Casa and I and the young guys. I'm not asking you to be an expert on hip hop, but if you was born in 2001, you was around that time of MMG and Rick Ross and Meek Mills and Wale and all that. You was around that time. So don't front on why when you run into Wale, don't front on, because I feel like last year you did that shit to Killer Mike. Killer Mike won that Grammy, and then you was kind of like on who is Killer Mike. See, we tired. This the shit I'm talking about with these young niggas, because that's just them trying to bang on the truest art form of our side. You know, the truest of the artists. You trying to bang on that, and we don't know if it's a higher up sending them in to do this, platforming these niggas who non-cultured to bang on bang on this. You know, we bad enough. We got the vultures in there. We got the Aiden Rosses and you know what I'm saying, niggas who, more more children of immigrants in our shit, dictating our shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's no issue where, however, the real issue is that we just want a little bit of respect. And if you respect it, then you love it, then you'll take the time to search it. And if you don't know Wale, because at 11 and 12, you had immigrant parents who wouldn't let you listen to that music. So when you turn 14, 15, all of a sudden you started getting into it. Just say that. Just say that, my nigga. Say, hey, I'm new to this culture. I just put this shit on. But I'm new to it. My daddy didn't listen to rap. My mama didn't listen to rap. They listen to Jamaican music, Haitian music, right? And it'll make more sense. But as far as people having a big platform and rap labels sending artists to Casa Not, I think that we have to do a job to call out these huge streamers who try to demean our art form, right? Now I don't have the biggest platform to get my point across, especially on YouTube, right? However, I say this as big bruh. I ain't coming at the young nigga sideways. You know what I'm saying? I'm 10 years older than the nigga. 10, I'm 10, 11 years older than him, so I understand. 2012, I was in college. You know what I'm saying? I was doing my thing. I was doing, you know what I'm saying? So I understand that he may not be hip to that. However, you have to study the art form that you come into, and this is what I feel like with hip hop. If it was the country genre, every young streamer would have to know Alan Jackson, would have to know Tim McGraw, would have to know, they would have to know even all the way down to the B list, and the C list artists, for you to get that big platform, and for the labels to be sending big country stars to a young streamer, right? But hip hop is seen as a gimmick, and that's what Casa Not is helping promote, a gimmick. You don't walk past Wale like that. He's an artist, he's a poet, and say, "Oh, who is that nigga?" That seemed like it was done with ill intent. That's just that's my street nigga shit telling me like that nigga did that on purpose. You kind of played that nigga, cause like Wale said, we was on a basketball team, a celebrity basketball thing a year ago. Now you ain't know who the nigga is at all. Wale? That was this nigga trying to be funny. You know what I mean? So that's just my thoughts on the Casa not knowing Wale. I don't. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I don't give a fuck how old you young niggas is. Educate yourself on this thing that we call hip hop. Educate yourself on it. You know. Now I'm a peers, but you should educate yourself on this shit. You know. It's not just a it's not just a thing that some of us play with. Some of us really like put our voices into this shit, our time into dedicating to this shit, and a lot of niggas have really like dedicated their whole lives to this shit. So I don't think you should treat artists like Wale like that, right? While you dance to some dumbed down whack rapper who putting two words together the whole song, the whole 1 minute 30 second song. But this is what this gimmick shit represents. This is what Casa now represents. The whole gimmicky thing. And that's why I love to see Kendrick Lamar not dap Drewski up. But you shouldn't adapt up Casa now either. Right? Because he not like us either. On that note, family, we out. Peace.